Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Nkenna. I am responsible for everything that goes on here. As you guys can see, I am barefaced and we are doing wig review. I know it's been a while, but I just wanted to say thank you to Ebonyline for sending me this unit so that I could review it for you guys. So like I said, I am barefaced, and that is because I had to lay this unit down with some got to be glued, and I didn't want any makeup mixing and interfering with that process and creating a nasty brown honey colored crusting along my hairline. So I am au naturel. It is all me, just me, no brows, no foundation, no nothing, just Vaseline on the lips. So the unit that I'm reviewing today is this Outre Vixen Yaki. It's in a color 1B. And as mentioned previously, this unit was sent to me by Ebonyline.com. I'll make sure that I have all their information, their Instagram, everything, all the specifics about the unit down in the description box below. On the care card, you can see the model she's wearing in a middle part like I am, and then you can also see the 4-quadrant parting space, which makes it the Vixen unit. If you've never heard of a Vixen sew-in, essentially it is a horizontal parting and a vertical parting. I did that backwards. It's a vertical parting and a horizontal parting on the scalp, and then your bundles are sewn in or crocheted into the 4 quadrants so that you do have that natural parting space. You can put it half up, half down, put it in pigtails. You just have a little bit more variety and it makes it seem more realistic. However, you do have to leave some real hair out, but the beauty of this is that it's a full unit. The tracks are sewn into the quadrants, but you don't have to leave any of your real hair out. So it's like the best of both worlds. This unit is heat safe up to 400 degrees. So if you did want to do some cold weight rods or put some, curls, put a little bend in this, you definitely could. This is a Swiss lace front unit. So with that Swiss lace, you are getting a lot softer of a lace. You don't really have to worry about the itching factor. So that's a good thing, because I noticed that it does irritate my scalp and my skin. I have very, very sensitive skin, and the typical lace that does come on units, it's very, very itchy and bothersome to me. So I do prefer the Swiss lace. Inside the care card, you can see more styles. So she has it half up, half down. She does have 2 cornrows or 2 French braids going straight back. And then she also has the hair all the way up into a bun. The Swiss lace is said to be pre-plucked, so I should not have to do any manipulation to the parting space. And as you guys will see, I didn't. The only thing that I did do was add some powder to it. I didn't have to tweeze anything out because I'm pretty comfortable with this parting space. Any wider, then it starts looking very, very wiggy. And then of course on the back of the information card, you do get a care guide. So just to go ahead and get into the cap construction, you guys can see that there are 4 combs that do surround the hairline, and then there are 2 combs out of those 4 combs that do surround this vertical parting space. At the bottom of the unit, you guys can see that there are 2 additional combs surrounding that same vertical parting space, and then there are also adjustable straps. In terms of lace, you guys can see that you have about a solid inch, maybe a little bit more, of lace that does go from ear to ear. And then at the bottom of the unit, there's an additional 1.5 inches to about 2 inches of lace that does come from that vertical parting space. So straight out of the package, this is what the unit does look like. You guys can see that it has a very polished hairline. I did leave the lace on just so that you guys can get an idea of where it looks like. So this is just to show you guys what the parting space looks like so far. I have not put any powder. I have not tweezed this out. That's what it looks like so far. But just to give you guys a closer look, you guys can see the front, and then I'll turn slowly. And then this is to show you guys what the back of the unit looks like. Also, in terms of the cap construction, you guys can see a closer, better look at the vertical parting as well as the horizontal parting. There are tracks sewn onto this unit. However, it's done in each of the 4 quadrants. So as I mentioned before, I'm going to be using this got to be glued styling gel. This is the number 4 Screaming Hold. It's for spiking, gripping, and chunking. And I'm just going to apply that to the top of this beige wig cap. So now I'm putting my blow dryer on the lowest heat setting to expedite the process of making the glue tacky before I not cement, I was about to say cement the wig in place, but before I just put the unit in place. So you guys can see this is super sleek, laid down flat. I'm just running my fingers through it. It is so soft, so much movement. This feels like natural hair that has been pressed out. Maybe you pass the flat iron over twice. It's super sleek, like bone straight, but it has a good bit of volume. It's very, very soft. It feels so good. And you guys can see with the glue, I didn't have to tweeze anything out, but it laid down really, really flat. My only concern is when you're wearing this half up, half down, because the lace does come from ear to ear, it just comes down really far. So in terms of like me, I have sideburns. I'm not going to shave them off just to put it up. But for somebody who doesn't have have hair growing all the way down, then of course it's going to be more believable. And I'll show you guys in a second what I mean by that. Something else with the parting space I noticed is that the parting space is not very forgiving. And just to expand upon that, when I was finding the sections, dividing it up into the 4 quadrants, the tracks are right next to the parting space. So you want to be really careful with that because you don't want the tracks to be exposing you. So just be very, very careful because there's not a lot of wiggle room and it's not very forgiving. One thing that I did notice that is bothering me is there's like some random, I guess, breakage, we'll call it, right here, and it just keeps sticking up this alfalfa piece. So, I mean, it does lay down, but every now and again, then it sticks out. So that's just a random thing. Just to show you guys, I am 5'9", 5'10" on a really good day. My belly button is right here. So it is hitting me almost at the tops of my hips. So on the parting space, I went in and took some powder, and I just used this Ulta contour kit, and I did use the Bombshell bronzer, this color right here, and I just applied it right there because before I did apply it, you guys may have been able to see, but it did look like there was a black piece of mesh there. So I just went in and applied that powder, and it made it look more realistic and helped it blend more seamlessly with the rest of the parting space. And this is just to show you guys how strong the hold that got to be glued is. It's sealed, it's set and everything. And just to show you guys, I am tugging. You can see the skin on my forehead, it is moving, and this is not going anywhere. So it is a very, very strong hold. So you wanna be careful. I made sure not to apply it to any of my real hair because if it's that strong on my skin, then I do not want it ripping out my edges with it. I'll make sure that I insert pictures so you guys can see what I'm talking about, but I would definitely recommend putting this on a wig head and then dividing it into the style that you want. So if you want it half up, half down, put it on the wig head, do it like that, and then put it onto your head. It's a lot easier. This hair, as I said, is very, very silky, and it's hard to find the separate quadrants in the parting space when it is already on your head like this. So as you guys can see, it is not very believable where the parting goes. I mean, if it was half up and half down, then I expect the horizontal parting to be behind the ear. However, it comes in front of the ear, and I found that very hard to work with. It is pretty bulky in these first 2 quadrants, so when you're trying to put it half up, half down, or trying to do a top knot or something like that, there's a lot of hair focused in these 2 quadrants, and maybe it's just because of my head size, but I just feel like there's a lot of hair up here. It's very thick, and then it's really thin towards the back, the way the quadrants are divided up. However, looking at it on the cap, it looks about evenly constructed, but once it's on my head, it feels a lot different. I will say that this unit does shed a lot just from running my hands through a couple times. As you guys saw, I got about 3 strands, and then there's a lot more in the brush. I've been throwing it away as I've been filming and manipulating this wig, but it does shed quite a bit. It feels very natural. This is a natural density. However, that shedding will get old, especially since as you move around and do stuff, it does get tangled. Not terrible, but just from, like, you know, moving around, putting it half up, half down, it got kind of ratty. So I would definitely, as always, keep a paddle brush with you so that you can brush it out throughout the day. But I would advise, if you can, definitely keep your hands out of it as much as possible. The major con for me was that the tracks are placed so closely to the parting space, so it's not very forgiving. So if you accidentally part it in such a way that the track is showing, then you don't really have too much to cover it up. I mean, they're literally right next to each other. So it's easy to slip up in that department. So that's just something to keep in mind if you are doing the half up, half down style, or if you're doing maybe putting it in pigtails, or I don't know, if you know, become creative and do something else. Overall, I think it's really, really cute. It is very beautiful. This is definitely some kinky, straight textured hair, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. It flows, it's very realistic. You will be out here fooling somebody. So again, I just wanted to thank Ebonyline for teaming up with me and sending me this unit so that I can review it for you guys. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, leave it down in the comment section below. I'll make sure that I have a link to their Instagram, to their website for the unit, all the specifics about the unit in the description box below. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, like the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Hey.